Ladies and gentlemen, they have made the determination, unlike the crack epidemic where your addicts were all criminals and handled in that kind of manner. They were locked up in penitentiaries during the crack epidemic. But now that we are in the age of the opioid, fentanyl, and heroin addiction, now it's a public health issue, and these people don't belong in jail. There are locations here in the US where these junkies are a nuisance and they are begging and panhandling out in public. I have been panhandled too out in public for money from these junkies, these very same junkies. And ladies and gentlemen, I never called the cops on these folks. Never. Maybe we should. Maybe when they start panhandling to us, we should do that. I mean, we are in the day and age of making phone calls on any damn thing. So why not pick up your phone and start calling it on these panhandling junkies that are a public nuisance? When you go out, you don't want to be hassled and have junkies all up in your face begging for a quarter and a dollar and all that stuff. You want to be left alone so you can shop in peace and go to your destination and make it back home safely. So over in the UK, in Derbyshire Live, and this came out November 18th, 2018, shoppers afraid to venture outside into Derby due to addicts and beggars. Well, this is how they choose to deal with their drug addict. For very obvious reasons. Over here in the US, they have amnesty. And so is the person that calls the cops on them. They have amnesty too. Businesses in Derby City Center says shoppers are afraid to leave to visit them because they have to run into gauntlets of drunks, drug addicts, and aggressive beggars. Shop and restaurant owners say potential customers are hassled so much that they refuse to walk through the city center to reach the older part of town. The outlets say pedestrians feel unsafe passing by people high on drugs or being approached for spare change. Derbyshire Live recently reported on how new government figures put Victoria Street on top of the list for criminal activity. Now, 5 businesses in the street have called for more police on the beat, more public toilets, and urgent refurbishment of the old Debenhams building. They said these measures would help revitalize the area and bring back business. Jade Duvall, co-business owner of the Port House in Victoria Street, says she has seen footfall get worse and worse as crime increases. But see, didn't we explain that during the crack epidemic? And what was their response? You guys are just inherently violent. But now, ladies and gentlemen, now that they are experiencing the same drug addiction, same type, and crime is going up and going through the roof for them as well, now it's a public health issue, and and these people shouldn't go to jail. But ladies and gentlemen, it's unavoidable. With drug addiction, there's always crime. This is why you can pull up all kinds of videos of these same addicts robbing stores, robbing banks, robbing pharmacies, and there are thousands of these videos out there that you can just sit and watch. thousands, and news articles as well. And you can see the faces of these drug addicts that are out here committing crimes. And they're very dangerous too. They're armed in many cases when they're out here robbing all of these places and snatching purses and doing all kinds of things, putting us at risk. But never mind that, it's a public health issue. Okay, Duvall said, "We're trying our hardest to put in money to drive business, but people do not want to come in. We are fighting a bit of a losing battle." Shane Wood, owner of Mexican street food takeaway El Contador, I don't know. Customers sometimes don't want to walk down here because we have people begging. Glenn Bremmel, goldsmith of Cresta Gems in Victoria Street, said, "You see people on drugs and a lot of customers ring up and ask for updates instead of coming into the shop. They daren't come down here now, and we never see any police here to deal with it. Unfortunately, they won't come because, see, the face of the junkie looks like yours." But Derby City Council says it is doing a huge amount of work in investing into Brecketwell area, and Derbyshire police say that as part of the Operation Halifax, they have 44 arrests and continue to target criminals in the city center. Mr. Duvall said people don't like walking down here from into center. They get harassed all the time. There's antisocial behavior and people on drugs. That's what they're telling me. I know other businesses that are suffering from footfall in Sadler Gate too. Some I've spoken to are thinking about shutting and moving. What Derbyshire police has said. Okay, so their police lieutenant, as a force, we work hard to ensure Derby is a safe place for the residents and visitor to our city, along with partners including Derby City Council, Pub Watch, and the Business Improvement District, street pastors, and taxi marshal services. The city has been awarded the coveted purple flag status for the 5th year in a row. Launched in 2012, the purple flag status is awarded independently to towns and cities that show excellence in management of their nighttime economy. As a force, we are very pleased that this hard work has been recognized, and we continue to look at ways we can improve the city center experience. We take a proactive approach to policing the nighttime economy by targeting key areas, focus on enforcement and achievement, compliance, with help of dedicated police resources. They just sound like a typical police department. The people are bitching and complaining, and they're talking about how great they're doing. Don't they do that here in America? They do the same thing. If you complain about them and see obvious problems, they're just going to pat themselves on the back and tell you how great they are and how hard they're working and everything that they're doing. They do the same thing here. You can see that's a global phenomenon right there with them doing that. All right. So they're saying, I'm just looking at some of the, all right, so this one business owner say, I see a lot of homeless people and they go around in groups. I've had them come and sleep here outside my door at times. It's quite intimidating. So they're struggling with a lot of same things that you see here, which is not shocking. And you see the cops lackadaisical and how they handle these addicts. Same thing here in America. No one wants to lift a finger now that the addicts look like them. But when the addicts look like us, it was jail time, criminal court. Now they got a special drug court set up for these people. Now, I don't know if they have that in the UK, but they certainly have it here. So now you got so many junkies on the street in this one area that it's disrupting business. But you know what? This is what happens when you want to coddle your junkies. You know, it's just like I have read about these safe houses that they're setting up here in the US, and some are already, they're not fooling anybody. Many of these places are already operational, and they're saying the same thing is happening. They said, I was reading another article up in Canada. They said a lot of these junkies that use the safe house, they tend to hang out around there. And the people that live in the area complain because they said it's all kinds of needles and paraphernalia all over the streets around those safe houses. And they were saying, a lot of the junkies up there tend to hang out around there. So when you try to go in that area, you just see all these junkies stumbling around up there, and it's unsafe to even walk on the same sidewalk with them because they're constantly bothering people that are walking past. And ladies and gentlemen, you're going to have the same situation here in the US with these drug injection safe sites. And the police are not going to half want to patrol, and it's going to be up to the people in those neighborhoods to struggle through it. But this is just unbelievable. But this is the world that we live in, ladies and gentlemen. And this is the way they want it. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I will see you on the next video. Peace, family.